Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial, and joining me on this segment is Jake Butler, and he's the founder of Money University. Jake, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Jake, tell us a little bit about your work with Money University and who are the types of folks that you help?
Money University. Okay, so I used to be a school teacher. Always been in the education, and once I started to make money, a lot of people started asking me how'd you do it. Robert Kiyosaki has a game called Cash Flow, where you have to learn about real estate, stock market, a bunch of other things, buying businesses in order to get out of the rat race in this game. So once I began to make money in various areas, then I created Money University to learn where you come to learn about money.
So, yeah, let's dig into that a little bit more. Let's unpack that. So, Money University, what did you see what problem did you see that solving? What's the biggest problem folks have that you knew that Money University could be the answer for?
Well, the biggest problem is in school, we don't learn about money at all. So we learn about the Pythagorean's theorem. We learn about, the multiplication tables and so forth, but we don't learn how to make money, save money, and multiply money. So that's changing a little bit with some of the curriculums in the academic circumstance in the academic era. But that's a huge void, and that's one that I try to fulfill.
Gotcha. What are some of the myths and misconceptions that float around about money that get people into trouble?
Well, the more education you receive, the more money you make. That's not true. Which I thought that was true, which is one of the reasons why I went to go get my master's and other academic accolades, because you think you're going to make more money just because you have higher academic accolades, but that's really not true. However, growing up, if that's what your parents tell you, or if that's what you see other people doing, going to college and they get a particular job, then you only know what you see. So it wasn't until later on where I made my full year salary in one real estate transaction. I'm like, oh my goodness. And that didn't take a degree to do that.
Yeah, I mean, family means well, but they're really only relaying what they feel they know or
Right.
what they were taught.
Right.
Now, tell us what the solution is, because as you mentioned, it's not about the degrees or the accolades or any of
Right.
that. So, what is it then that is the key to success and wealth in
Well,
your view?
I mean, everybody that is wealthy has a certain financial IQ. So it's either real estate, the stock market, or a business. It's one of those three areas. So you have to become financially educated, but not just learn. You have to put it into action as well.
When people come to Money University and you meet them for the first time, what are the biggest questions on their mind? Do you get some questions that are asked over and over again all the time? What are the biggest questions you get?
Um, the biggest questions I would say is, where do I start? And I don't have any money. Um, where do I start? And I don't have any money. Those are the two main things that everybody wants a certain level. People say it takes money to make money, which is true, but it doesn't have to be your money.
Ah,
It could be, if you have a credit card, it could be it could be the bank account, it could be a friend that loans you the money. For my first deal where I made $23,000 with only $1,000, a friend actually loaned me the $1,000 because I didn't have enough money. I didn't have $1,000 at the time while I was a school teacher, check to check. So it does take money to make money, but it doesn't have to be your money.
so you mentioned you were a school teacher.
Yes.
So how'd you get started? What inspired you to get into mentorship and Money University and going into business, especially that top? How'd you get started?
Well, when people keep asking you the same question over and over again, and you spend, as a school teacher, not automatically, but you're a giving person, very rarely will your students come up to you for a question and you like, well, I'm not answering that, go sit down. Very rarely do you, turn away a student who's seeking help. So after I quit being a school teacher, after I made my salary in, a very short period of time, I would spend 2-3 hours on the phone with people explaining, because they want to know how I did it. So that would take away from my business, but I was happy to try to help them. But it was getting to a point where I don't mind spending 2-3 hours with somebody, but if I spend 2-3 hours and then you don't do anything, and then you call me back with the same questions, I'm like, okay. So I created the course, so then I'll know, and I try to make it affordable, so that way, if someone is serious, there's no excuse why you can't progress. Because the problem with YouTube is
YouTube University?
the problem with YouTube is, imagine being in school and you have 3 teachers for the same subject.
Mhm.
Did you take algebra in high school?
Mhm.
How many teachers did you have? If you had 3 teachers for algebra, you would be so confused. So that's the problem with YouTube University. Now, there are multiple ways to get to the answer, but if you have 3 teachers teaching you the same thing, everybody doesn't start with a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So you can still get to the end result. So you have to find someone that has what you want and follow that person.
So for folks listening and want to get more information on Money University and connect with you personally, where can they find you?
I would say go to jakebutler.info. That's at my book that I co-authored with Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank. They can get that for free. He selected 20 entrepreneurs. I was one of the ones that he selected. There's a chapter there, and in that one chapter, I tried to help people as much as possible. I would just start at jakebutler.info. I would start there.
Terrific. Jake, this has been fantastic. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience.
Anytime.
And I wish you continued success for you, for Money University, and for all of your students.
We'll go from there.
That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and we'll see you again next time.